Hello everyone, it is time for another round of Live Arena in 2 seconds. Here we go. So, I've got 10 subscribers now, and since there are 10 of you, I figure I'll ask a question. Who is your ride or die champion for Live Arena? I guess for those of you who even bother to do Live Arena. For me, I think you already know. It's the Monkey King. I think Sun Wukong is the best champion they invented since Ninja? How many of you out there have Ninja? I know there are a lot of people that are cheesed that you can't get Ninja anymore. So he's opening with UDK and Uko. This is a very malleable team. He could go just about anywhere with this. So I'm going to do the same, not really knowing where he's going. He doesn't know where I'm going. All right, he's got Rotos. He's got Pythion. I think at this point I'm most scared of the Rotos. The UDK has Polymorph. He's got a lot of high blessings. That's really something. Maybe I want a Force Bomber. That's going to be difficult for him to deal with. And maybe I want... I don't think Gaius would be that much of a threat. I think maybe I could do something conservative like Duchess. And yet another question to those of you who play Live Arena. What's your favorite part? Is it the draft? Is it the actual fight? For me, I think it might actually be the draft because it's more like chess. I think I want to eliminate Harima. She really scares me. This guy scares me too. You know what? We'll get rid of Pythion. Got rid of my bomber anyway. Well played. So I think I want the speed. As much as I think I want to, and of course he's got a better speed aura. So I'm going to not be dumb, and I'm going to take the better speed aura. Eliminating my bomber means this fight is not going to be as fast as I would like. That's why I like to take 2 bombers. I'd like a 3rd bomber. You know what the game needs? The game needs a Void Affinity bomber. I think that would be terrific. If they made a fusion for a Void Affinity bomber, everybody would go nuts for it. Or at least I would go nuts for it. I don't know if I want to open with her buffs yet, now that she's blocking them on herself. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Cleanse it off now. Alright, let's try to Decreased defense was the one debuff I wanted. And it's like it's the one that didn't land. I suppose it doesn't matter what she does. This is a tough lineup. Okay. At this point, we're into a war of attrition. If I can get somebody really low, I'm then going to try to snipe them with Sun Wukong. It would be best if he's not under decreased attack when that happens. I think I can wait. That Uko is brutal. That is very difficult to deal with. Yeah, let's try to curse some of them. Maybe get some of them turned to stone. I'm looking for an opening. Some kind of opening. That's a little better. Is this my opening? Maybe. Let's find out. Sheeped? Seriously? Alright, we've been in this fight 4 minutes. I mean, I don't know if I want to continue the fight. I don't know that we necessarily are going to lose. Okay, we're in trouble now. I don't think Sun Wukong can really do much because his cooldowns are such that he doesn't have this. There's no buffs to steal. I'm going to call it. Good game, Bretagne. If I had to pick a second Ride or Die champion, it would probably be Ramantu. Although every time Plarium does one of those videos that they release to all of us that shows who our most used champion is, last time it was actually her, which I found interesting. But I use her almost everywhere. I use her in my Seer, wave clearing team. I use her a lot in Arena. I actually used to use her more in Arena though, so it might be a different champion now. I'm going to open with Sun Wukong. He's going to open with the two scary Reviver ladies. I'm okay with this plan. I'm going to... Maybe I'll take a Bomber this time. Even though there's already a lot of block debuffs. I'm less afraid of that because of Ramen 2. So then you got Harima again. This team is looking very familiar. I'll take a second Bomber. And Kaimar, where are you? Let's try this team. I'm not even sure who I want to get rid of. She's got Polymorph, so it makes sense to try to get rid of her. I think it's gonna have to be like that. Well, I want accuracy. And he wants resistance, obviously. So I think I chose correctly. Siffy Rotos is such a broken pair. I think Ramen 2 is one of the few proper responses to it. Rhonda is kind of a response also. Alright, well, let's see if I can get this over with quickly. So far, so good. So far, so good. And good game. So we're going up against Mr. Dewey. Monsieur Dewey. Bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Dewey. Bonjour, Monsieur Dewey. I assume he's French, but what do I know? So we got two Reviver gals. Typically, my response to Duchess is Ramen 2. I think he's been a fair response to a lot of the meta. And I could bring along Mithrala again. I could bring along a Bomber again. Bomber's been serving me well. Gaius is a fantastic champ. I think before Sun Wukong, and before I got the Rat King, I had Gaius. I remember seeing for the first time that Gaius fusion and just knowing I had to have him. After having my ass handed to me in the arena so many times by Lord Shazar. And finally we had a response to Lord Shazar. And interestingly, I don't seem to see Lord Shazar so often. But I still don't have him. I wish I did. Awesome champion. So I'm probably going to have to ban Yumeko just because of how broken she is. I could bring a second bomber. I could even bring UDK and Helicat just to have an alternate strategy. This might make the fight take longer, but could work. You know what? Monsieur Dewey is probably going to respond with Mithrala if he's got her. Because that would be the proper response. And if he does that, I don't like my chances. Because I think I still pretty much have to eliminate Yumeko. Especially with Karato. I actually rarely see them together. Not a lot of people seem to use Karato. I hear good things about him. I actually have him. But he just kind of hangs out in my vault. So no Helicath. That makes sense. So I'm definitely going to go for the accuracy. I'm not going to outspeed him. The defense is probably largely irrelevant. Can't kill everybody yet. So, really, I figured he'd go for Z1 first. Oh, wow. He is a smacky boy. Oh, wow. He is another smacky boy. I think we've already lost. I mean, Sun Wukong might be able to get somewhere. It seems unlikely, but let's start with this A3. But really, I'd have to whittle down Duchess and then nail her with his A2. I'm not really sure Ramen 2 is going to be able to get enough damage going. Wow. Our days are numbered. I don't even have to think about resigning. I think the decision's going to be made for me really quickly. And that's game. Bonjour, Monsieur Dewey. Easy time. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see if you're an easy time or not. With each loss, I've become a little less confident. Although, I guess statistically, with each loss, I get that much closer to my next win. But easy time so far is giving me a hard time. Because I wanted him... So we'll definitely go for Ramen 2. He is the correct response to the Monkey King. I'm even thinking of taking Rhonda. I don't take Rhonda nearly enough. So let's try her out. Another champ I really don't take nearly often enough is Leo. Leo is another one of my ride or dies throughout the game. I might even pick him as one of my favorite champions. I use him everywhere in PvE. And he's one of my main nukers in Arena as well. He's one of my champs that I just use absolutely everywhere. And yet in Live Arena, I think I was picking him more towards the beginning. Recently, I haven't chosen him anywhere nearly as much. I want to be careful here. This looks like it could get very dangerous. Here, I'm going to take... I need some support. I absolutely need some support. This just guarantees I have at least one support champion. Possibly two. And the two of them together can form basically a wall. So Easy Time is probably not going to want to let me do that, but then again, you might want to eliminate a nuker. So he's going with Emic. Cool. I want to try to bomb this team out if I can. I guess we'll see if that works out. So if I get rid of her, that ditches the support. Of course, he can make them unkillable. I guess that's why Gaius would be a good response, or Ramantu would be a good response. He's going to ban one of them. So I guess he made his choice. I figure she's got the block debuffs, I really don't want to deal with that, and there was a good chance he was going to ban Ramantu, and he did. So, the accuracy... It's going to come down to how much accuracy he's got, so I'm going to go with the resist. I think that's the correct choice. So, Easy Time. I feel like you're already giving me a hard time, even just in the draft phase. Staff of Wonder. Wow. I would not have thought I could resist that. I should check how much resist he has. Seems strange that he actually resisted that. Well, I can't target anybody else. The bombs, it's too early for the bombs. And of course, if I attack him, it could force my cooldowns. It increases the cooldown of something. Youch. Alright. We'll pick her back up. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I'll wait. Let's see. Okay, I resisted the cooldown increase. Gives me more a sense of how accurate this guy is. And maybe I'll have her pick up Rhonda, so she can at least be behind a veil. So, you could strike with this. Ouch again. Easy Time, you are giving me a hard time. You know what? I want to go for the cleanse. Wow, good game, Easy Time. Very clever name. Dwadowish from the Hard Destroyers. So let's pick my favorite two. And he's got Georgid, which I think I'm going to have to open with. I'm going to have to ban Georgid. So I think I'll go for bombers? Or do I want Hellcat? I'm going to try the Hellcat paradigm. So you got Lady Kimmy. Lady Kimmy can cause me some grief. The Rat Bomber can cause me some grief. Maybe I'll just go for... Maybe I want a bomber after all. Why not? Let's take a bomber after all. We'll get rid of Georgid because I think he's just going to murder us otherwise. There's the Monkey King. I think I'll go for the defense. Alright, we've been lucky so far. These bombs may change that. Oh dear. I think this is pretty much good game already. I don't see any of them surviving. Boom, boom. I mean, I think I'm just wasting his time now. Come on. For some reason, my turn's never coming up. There it is. I don't know why I had to watch my own guys die like that. Maybe it's my OCD. So, let's do 5 more. What could I have done better in that fight? I guess bring a cleanser, for starters. Could have gone for Mithrala instead of the bomber. I think maybe going for the bomber was a bit greedy. I think I had it in my head that I'd have a lot of weapons at my disposal, and as long as anybody survived, I would be fine. But really, if that was my plan, I should have eliminated the Rat King. However, then Georgid probably would have killed everyone, so... You know... Kind of a no-win situation between those two. So you have to think outside of the box. Or inside of the box. I'm sure there's solutions inside of the box as well. So let's try this again. Hopefully it won't take too long. It's interesting. There's another YouTuber I was watching do live fights last night. Erroneous. Shout out to Erroneous. I really like watching his fights and his commentary along with his fights. He noticed a pattern that whenever he loses 3 times, He then sees the slow thing. I'm not really sure why it would do that. Anyway, I'm going to start with the Monkey King. Arrhenius is actually another Gold 1 Arena player right now, so there's a part of me hoping that I encounter him at some point. It'd be kind of fun, because then our fights could be featured on 2 different channels. So he wants to go first. That's about all I know about him right now. Rattel 88. Okay. A bomber? Why not? Seems logical. So Rattel is probably looking at my front line and imagining, well, he doesn't look like he's planning on going first, unless I'm tricking some of my opponents by picking Sun Wukong first, because he does have a very good speed aura. So it may look like I have dreams of going first, but really, with a lineup like this, those hopes are dashed. So you got Rhodos. I really want to take her. And I'll go for second bomber. I'm going to try to go for the fast win, and I think so is he. So all we got to do is eliminate one of these two. He can reset everybody. She's good at increasing everybody's accuracy, but she doesn't have a guaranteed strip the way he does. So Kaimar's probably the one to eliminate. I'm going to go for as much accuracy as possible. Mithrala is probably perfectly safe from Lady Kimmy. Unless he's got a really crazy Lady Kimmy. Which is definitely possible. Because she's got that increased accuracy, so even if she's got something like 600 accuracy, she'd still be able to get my Mithrala. So, I lost one guy already. Youch! That is a hard smacking Rhodos. That is a very hard smacking Rhodos. You are terrifying. But your team is also nice and squishy. So, I mean, that's pretty much good game. So now we're fighting Alexander. Alexander wants to take extra care to pick the absolute perfect opening champion. And it's Pythion. And I must say, that is a decent pick. I'm going to go for these two. Now, whenever I see Pythion, I kind of think Duchess. Just because of the wall those two put up. But that is not where he's going with it. He's going to Ross. And when I see Taras, I think, particularly with Polymorph on him, I think we want to go for a block damage paradigm. even if he's the one I end up eliminating. We'll see. Now, when he sees Helicath Ultimate Death Knight, he probably thinks Mithrala. And there she is. And thus, that's probably who I need to eliminate. This is going to be a really, really tough team to get through. I'm thinking I definitely want some damage. Maybe I want to try... Alright, let's eliminate her. I think this is the first time in any videos that I've made where I've tried Turvold. So let's go for the defense. Turvold is another champion I was using a lot early on in Arena. I found early on, in Live Arena I mean, I found early on he's really good at just breaking through walls. His damage is absurd. But he's also squishy, he's difficult to keep alive, and he's really built for clan boss, because he's my main clan boss damage dealer. But I find the build that I used, it still works fairly well here. It's starting to look like his days are already numbered. Oh my. Okay, well, we'll go for the block damage paradigm. But he's got a really tanky team. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hammer through it with Helicath. I'm certainly willing to try. The good news is it seems that his debuffers don't have enough accuracy to hit my Helicath or my Ultimate Death Knight. My Ultimate Death Knight has a ridiculous amount of resistance. Helicath, it's probably more a conservative amount. Alright, let's go for the AoE. Let's see how much damage I can do. Maybe with increased defense, I could do a bit more. I mean, I don't feel like we're completely screwed. But I feel like we're kind of hanging on by a thread. Oh, managed to remove my buff. Well, let's see. Close, but no cigar. I mean, you're going to go for the revive, right? You should. He is not going for the revive for a reason I don't understand. Did he somehow use it and I missed it? Was I not paying attention? if Helicath gets a turn before he does, I've basically got it. And in fact, Ultimate Death Knight's about to get a turn too. This is a good game, Alexander. I think it was a good game. Unless you threw the fight on purpose, in which case, still good game, but you know. So we've got Warlock. Is that what this is supposed to say? I'll open with the Monkey King, the Sun Wukong. I know his name is Sun Wukong. I just love calling him the Monkey King. So you're going to bring some revivers and support champs. I'm going to bring some support champs. Well, I'm going to bring at least one support champ. Maybe I'll go for a bomber. I want to try to go for some faster wins. I actually have to get all of the fights out in under an hour. I suppose I don't have to, but I will have to stop at the end of the hour. I've never had a video go longer than an hour before. I could try Helicath again. I could bring a second bomber and Kymar. I think I'm going to go for Kymar. A resistant Kymar would be a good response to Yumeko, I'm thinking. You'd have to have a lot of resist, though, which I don't. But Warlock doesn't know that. So maybe Warlock is going to eliminate my Kymar. I'm just going to eliminate Yumeko. I think I have no choice, once again. I feel like they need a proper response to Yumeko, something that hard counters. There's soft counters to her. You can bring Candrafon, you can bring Mithrala, you can bring resistant champions. He did eliminate Kymar. I think I want the accuracy. That makes sense. And I know there's Gislia's Soul Guide, who kind of counters Yumeko and Warlord. Kind of. I feel like there should be a stronger one that actually punishes them for using that move. Something that just hard counters it. You know, the way that Dark Elhain counters anybody that uses too much freeze. I mean, she is a hard counter. Especially to Tormund. In fact, next time I see Tormund here, I definitely want to bring Dark Elhain. When I see Tormund, I like to respond with Dark Elhain and Leorius. Because Leorius cannot be crowd controlled. From the get-go, anyway. Okay. So, I think as luck would have it, this fight is going to be quick. Good game, Warlock. Let's see, just in case you got Swift Berry. I want the block buffs up. Alright, 2 fights left. Well, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I cannot read Russian. In Mother Russia, Russian reads you. All right, I will respond with him, and yeah, why not? I'm going to go for bomber immediately. Harima, Warlord, yikes. This is a scary starting lineup. I'm not even sure what to do about it. I suppose I could do the thing that I just said, which is take these two to respond to a Warlord, just in case I need to eliminate something else. I suppose I could also go for Arbiter in an attempt to go first. The problem being, he can see Arbiter and just ban her. With UDK in the lineup, I think I just want a second bomber, which can make things awkward if it keeps him and eliminates him. I'm going to have to live with that possibility. So I'm going to eliminate Warlord. Unless I think we can go first. It's a risk, though. So I'm not going to take that risk. There's a lot of polymorph here, too. And he's eliminated him. You know what? He's made such a clever call there that I'm just going to call it. Good game, Conrad. So we'll do the final fight, and then we will call it a day. Blasphemy! Wonderful name. So Blasphemy already has one of the special avatars that just dropped. So I am definitely intimidated by that. I'm intimidated by his rank. Duchess and Marichka. Well, I see Marichka. I definitely want him. I see Marichka. I don't want bombers anymore. Unless I know I can eliminate Marichka. So I'm going to go for these two first. Because I can morph into any team from here. Do we go for bombers? Or do we go for Helicath? I don't know. Anybody still with me? Let me know in the comments whether you think I should have gone for the bombers or the Helicath paradigm. I'm going to go with the Helicath paradigm. And I'm going to eliminate Marichka. Because I really don't have a great response to her. Warlord. Youch. Youch, youch, youch. Well, I'm going to eliminate Marichka just because I probably am just going to end up in a perpetual fight if I don't. I could go for the speed aura and pray that I get to go first. That Warlord is going to be bad, bad news. Very bad news. You know who needs a hard nerf? Marichka. And Warlord. Or at least Warlord needs a hard counter. Also, I think this is the first time any opponent has picked Nogdar. So there go my cooldowns. I mean, I don't know what to do. Here, A1 on him. Maybe we can increase his cooldowns. You can see how he likes it. Let's get some buffs up. I'm already thinking I could revise that question of whether I should have gone for the Helicath paradigm or the bomb paradigm. I think they were both wrong. I don't think either one would have worked. Because either Warlord shuts us out before we can do anything, or Marichka stops us from being able to wipe out the enemy team. I need a really, really strong block revive champion. Which it occurs to me I actually have. I just haven't been putting her in the roster. But I do have Xavia. The biggest issue with Xavia is she's kind of dependent on poison, and Marichka's bloody passive puts up block damage whenever she gets poisoned. So she's even kind of got a response to that. I wish I had Foley. Or maybe Mortu Macabre. But anyway, I think the Helicath UDK paradigm was wrong. I think the... I'm going to admit I lost. Well, you know what? Let's wait. Maybe Sun Wukong can get back up and get somewhere. It seems super unlikely. And I think the correct choice would have been... I don't know. You can let me know in the comments what you think the correct choice would have been. So let's see. How did I do today? I got 4 victories out of 10. Not my best. I think I've got 2 different videos up where I got 8 out of 10. That's my best record yet for a single day. But anyway, thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.